Greetings. Thanks for the opportunity to give you a brief video with a high-level overview of the two resolutions I've presented to you folks on the Health Insurance Policy Task Force. They're actually very similar, both of them, because they are attempts by profit-making organizations to bypass state regulatory and federal regulatory mandates, both on credit cards and insurance. So the first one I'm going to discuss again briefly, and I would strongly encourage and ask you guys, please, gals as well, sorry about that, to review the citations because all the information is provided within the citations and really goes into detail why these two, the health share plans and the medical credit cards, are really deleterious and financially harmful to the public at large, and certainly at a minimum should never be encouraged by physicians, since some physician offices include information about medical credit cards, I think, not knowing how dangerous and risky they are and unregulated they are for the patients who use them. So the first one, and I'm just going to refer to my notes, is the health share plans that I'm going to discuss. So these are pretty extensively used, and what's pretty remarkable about them is that these are not insurance plans. They don't have to abide by any federal regulations. They don't have to abide by state regulations. There are literally almost no consumer protections. The devil is in the details. Sometimes it requires years of contributing financial payments to the company with no guarantee of coverage. And again, this is not an insurance product, so it is not regulated and is extremely dangerous in terms of people paying in money and not being able to get any coverage. Almost all of them do not cover pre-existing conditions. Again, it is a completely one-sided and almost legally an unconscionable contract. I don't understand how they haven't been struck down just on a tort basis, being that's the lawyer in me, sorry, but by people saying that, the terms were not revealed, they're completely one-sided. So that's really the biggest problem with the health share plans. They're offered to limited groups. There is no appeals process in the vast majority of them. They are just really not in any way, shape, or form something desirable, and all the references will sort of support that and show that both regulatory and federal have not endorsed these with so limited in their protections. And again, your options are to discourage their use, or at a minimum require comprehensive information so that there's no deception or potential fraud involved in anybody who is looking at these products. But a general if the Mass Medical Society were to encourage regulation of these or include them under insurance regulations, that would then protect them, or at least advocate against these policies being permitted, since they are really very highly deceptive. Basically, the same thing applies to the medical credit cards. The medical credit cards are not credit cards under federal and state regulations. So they're called credit cards, but they don't come from established financial institutions. They don't have the consumer protections that are necessary. Again, if you just read the references included in the resolution, you'll see that they are very strongly condemned by consumer protection groups. They have usurious rates, much higher and much worse than conventional credit cards, again, because they are not regulated. They really have predatory terms and conditions, and again, not regulated at all through licensed and certified financial institutions. They really contribute to medical debt and bankruptcy, and really almost constitute a fraud in terms of how they present themselves to lay people and consumers on a whole. So again, thank you for your time and consideration of both these, I think, what are clearly predatory products that are on the market that are not subject to regulation, and at a minimum should require detailed explanation of what their limitations are and what the potential risks are associated with both these types of products. Thanks again. I appreciate your time. Any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Bye-bye.